Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Financial Literacy 101. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to learn the key to financial freedom. I am Eric Fitzpatrick. I am a financial coach, not to be confused with a financial planner or an advisor. I am a husband to an amazing wife who has put up with my antics for 18 years. I am also a father of children who have personalities that are directly between my wife and myself. Most importantly, though, I'm a collector of hobbies. I like to learn new things, apply what I have learned, and then move on to the next adventure. Before we officially begin, I have to let you know that I do read all of your comments, your questions that are submitted. If you have any specific questions or comments, please type them out and press send, and I will take a look at them. Mentally, I want you to raise your hand if you've ever woken up staring at a ceiling, the weight of debt pressing down like a ton of bricks. You're not alone. In today's world, debt has become a persuasive reality, shaping our lives and our choices. But what if I told you that debt doesn't have to be a life sentence? What if I told you that by mastering debt management, you can unlock the door to financial freedom and take control of your destiny? In Proverbs, the writer is clear in saying that the borrower is slave to the lender. And a quote that has stood out to me is by Morse, and it says, "Every time you borrow money, you're robbing your future self." I know personally that to be true. I have foolishly borrowed money for things when things and opportunities for me to buy something new that would be better for my family came along, I had no funds or ability to pay it because I was paying off debt. But that does not have to always be that way. The power of proactive debt management is not about avoiding debt altogether, but understanding it, strategizing against it, and using it to your advantage. Just like training a wild beast, we can learn to harness the energy of debt and make it work for us, not against us. Debt comes in many flavors, each of its own unique taste and bite. There's an ever-present credit card, whispering sweet promises of instant gratification while racking up interest like a runaway train. There's the student loan dragon, guarding the gates of knowledge with mountains of payments. And let's not forget the mortgage elephant, a powerful force that can provide shelter, but also crush you under its weight if not tamed. Did you know that the average American household carries over $150,000 in debt? And the average household has around 14,000 in credit card debt alone. But don't let those numbers intimidate you. Understanding the different types of debt and their impact is the first step towards conquering them. Armed with Armed with knowledge of debt, we can choose the variety of strategies to vanquish our financial foes. There's the snowball method, which we focus on to taking down the smallest debts first, gaining momentum and morale with each victory. Or we can use the avalanche method, targeting debts with the highest interest rates to save money in the long run. And then there's a third option that some of my clients start with, and it's called the guilt first method. This method allows you to pay down a debt that you may associate with your past, and in order for you to be able to move forward with life, need to have it paid off aggressively. Once this debt is gone, you move over to either the snowball, avalanche, or some other method. Having a spending plan and debt consolidations are like trusty shields, deflecting unnecessary expenses and streamlining our attack. The choice is ours, and with the right strategy, we can claim victory over debt. But victory requires more than just strategy. We need tactics that are sharp and effective, and that is where the spending plan comes into our battle plan. Allocating resources wisely and identifying the gaps between income and expenditure, let me restart that. This is where spending plans become our battle plans, allocating resources wisely and identifying the gaps between income and expenditures. Increasing your income, like finding a side hustle or negotiating a raise at work, those all add fuel to the fire. And don't be afraid to negotiate interest rates with your debt. Sometimes a simple conversation can save you thousands. Remember, every step brings you closer to financial freedom. If we're going to borrow money, I need you to know that not all lenders are created equal. Some, like the elusive predators in the financial world, seek to take advantage of unsuspecting borrowers with unfair terms and practices. These lenders, known as predatory lenders, lure their prey with a low introductory rate and hidden fees, trapping them in a cycle of debt that is almost impossible to escape. These consequences of predatory lending can be devastating. High interest rates, balloon payments, and hidden fees can quickly drain your finances, leaving you struggling to make ends meet. Not only can this impact your credit score, but it can also lead to foreclosure, repossession, or even bankruptcy. A few examples of predatory lenders are payday loans. These short-term loans, often for a small amount, can come with interest rates that triple in the triple digits, leading to a debt trap if not repaid quickly. When I was younger and I worked at Wells Fargo Bank, I used a payday loan to cover some sort of emergency. Not sure exactly what it was, but what I do recall was using it for a short loan for until the next payday, because and then I was short the next payday because I was paying fees. An example of this is when you need $100, they give you that money and pay them $15 to $30 in fees. Not so bad at first glance. However, it is almost a 400 annual percent rate. And in my situation, I borrowed more than the $100, and the fees cost me a lot. It was a friend who told me to stop borrowing payday loans, and if I could not stop cold turkey, that I would need to borrow less and less money until I could stop. And that is my advice to you today. If you're in a cycle of debt, use a little less each month until you no longer have to borrow. The next lenders are auto title loans. These loans are your car use your car title as collateral, meaning you could lose your vehicle if you can't make the payments. And then the rent to own agreements. These agreements may initially seem affordable, but they overcharge you for furniture and appliances, resulting in significant higher costs for traditional financing. An example is like buying a refrigerator that normally would cost $900, and you decide to pay it in the installments of $27 over the term. That you will end up paying around $2,000 for. It's approximately $1,100 or so dollars more than the refrigerator actually cost. So how do you avoid predatory lending and lenders? First, before accepting any loan, shop around and compare rates and terms from multiple lenders. Be wary of offers that seem too good to be true, and remember, lower interest rates are always better than quick fixes with hidden costs. Don't simply skim the loan agreement. Take your time to read and understand all the terms and conditions including interest rates, fees, penalties, and repayment schedules. If you don't understand something, ask questions before signing. If you're unsure about a loan or think that you might be targeted by a predatory lending, don't hesitate to seek help from a trusted financial coach, a credit counselor, or some legal professional. They can provide valuable guidance and help you make informed decisions. Now let's explore a proactive approach to financial wellness. This involves building a conscientious spending plan, a roadmap that aligns your spending with your values and priorities. It's about taking control of your finances and making a conscious choice about where your money goes. A conscientious spending plan doesn't it's about giving you empowerment. It helps you avoid impulse purchases, reduce financial stress, and allows you to allocate resources towards those things that truly matter to you, like experiences, personal growth, or saving for your future goals. The first step is to identify your needs, the essentials you can't live without, and distinguish them from your wants, the desires that might offer temporary pleasure but may not be aligned with your long-term goals. Then you categorize your income and expenses, allocating funds to your needs first, ensuring you can cover necessities like the four walls taught in previous classes. Again, those are food, utility, shelter, and transportation. Then, based on your remaining income, prioritize your, prioritize your debt and wants in accordance with your values and aspiration. Remember, your spending plan isn't set in stone. Review and adjust it regularly to reflect changes in your income, expenses, and your priorities. This flexibility ensures your plan stays relevant and continues to serve your financial goals. A well-crafted spending plan unlocks the door to financial freedom. It empowers you to make choices that align with your values and goals, reduce debt, and build savings for the future. This newfound control over your finances translates into less stress, more peace of mind, and the ability to pursue your dreams. Here is a basic structure for how your spending plan can look. There are four main categories that can definitely be broken down into more complex pieces later. The first category is fixed costs. This is where a majority of your income goes: rent, utility, debt, etc. The second category is investments. This is your 401k and your retirement accounts. The third category is savings goals. Here is where you're putting away money for vacation, yearly gifts such as Christmas, birthdays, and anniversary. They come every year. Plan ahead. If you were buying a house, having a down payment fund is a great option. But to me, the most important goal here is building up your emergency fund. This will keep you from having to borrow money and go into debt when, let's say, your van decides to spring a leak in both the oil and coolant pan at the same time. This is what gives you peace of mind. The fourth category is guilt-free spending. Can someone say amen? This is where I want every one of you, myself and everyone, to get excited about. This is money that you can spend how you deem right. Keeping in your mind though that your goals and values that you have already previously set in place. The breakdown for each of these in percentage is a fixed cost should be somewhere between 50 and 60% of your income. Investments, 10%, savings, 10%, and guilt-free spending somewhere between the 10 and 20%. Here is an example of how this would break out. If you made $3,000 a month, $1,800 would go to fixed costs, $300 investments, $300 to savings goals, and $600 to guilt-free spending. I know that this is an ideal situation, and not everyone is ready to have guilt-free spending that high. If it feels out of place because you have a debt monkey on your back, then let's first get that debt taken care of and slowly increase your spending money. It's not just theory. Countless individuals have transformed their financial lives through conscientious spending. Stories of paying off debt, achieving financial independence, and pursuing passions abound, proving that this approach is not only effective, but it's also empowering. If you have not created a spending plan, right after this, I want you to grab whatever writing tool is close and whatever paper you can find and break out where your money is going. If you need help with this at all, then reach out to me. Remember, mastering debt and building a conscientious spending plan are not one-time events, but an ongoing journey. The tools and strategies we have discussed are your weapons in the financial adventure. Use them wisely, adapt them to your unique circumstances, and celebrate. I repeat, celebrate every step towards achieving your financial goals. Take control of your finances, make a conscious choice, and unlock the path to a lifetime of financial freedom. A few tips for success that I leave with you are to overestimate your bills. This gives you room for errors. Set goals for your money. Where do you want them? Where do you want to be in a month, 6 months, a year, or maybe even 5 years? When you build your spending plan, build it by looking at a minimum of 3 months. This will give you a better estimate of your expenses, and try to avoid adding extra expenses mid-month if possible. Thank you for joining me today. Now, I encourage you to share your thoughts and questions and your experiences. On the screen, you can see a QR code. It's to my contact page. If you have any questions or comments or just want to chat, scan it. Or you can go to clarksvillefinancialpeace.com or email me at clarksvillefinancialpeace@gmail.com. I hope you have learned something new today, and I can't wait to see you all again next month. Bye. Have a great day.